exercise. So if you want to put on any music, and I do have some really nice albums that you can use for yoga. If you're interested, just flick me an email and I'll send you some links to some nice stuff that I tend to have on in my classes. And this is one of the things that I really miss, is not being able to have music. I feel that really creates a nice vibe for the classes, so I can't wait to get back in the studio for that reason. Okay, coming down onto your mats in a lying down. We'll start off, you're going to start off laying down as we always do. We're going to center in from here. So just lay down, take a load off. And just lay into your Shavasana pose. So laying with the feet just slightly apart. Let your arms roll out and away from the body. Chin facing, palms facing upwards. Tuck the chin a little. Snuggle your shoulders into the ground beneath you. And allow yourself to completely surrender to the ground beneath you. So this evening's class, we move up this central column of energy. Remember, this runs up the center of the body through the spine. Starting at the base of your spine, we came in through the root chakra, Muladhara. Then we moved on up to the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana. Then we came up into the solar plexus chakra, Manipura. And last week we moved into the center of your world, your heart chakra, Anahata. And now this week we move up once again into the throat area. And here we find Vishuddha, the throat chakra. And the elements here are sound and ether. And the principles of this chakra are sympathetic vibration. The purpose is communication, refinement, and purification. The properties are harmony, creativity, resonance, coherence, and truth, Satya. The body parts are shoulders, the neck, the throat, the tongue, the mouth, and the ears. The practices are opening the throat and the shoulders, chanting and sounding, and vibrating. The actions can be refining the vibrations. Kriyas are cleansing practices. And if you're interested in those, I'll go into that in more depth in another class. Having the shoulders back, the shoulder blades down, and the head lifted. Poses are shoulder stands, headstands, handstands, and shoulder openers. The male energy here of this chakra is creating order, distinctions, commanding. And the female energy of this chakra is listening, creativity, and harmonizing. When you're deficient, you could be too shy, quiet, and have a constricted voice. And when you're excessive, you can talk too much, be loud, and be scattered in your thoughts and your actions. And when you're balanced, you have truth and coherence. Now, I've spoken about anxiety and mental health issues and how they can be definitely alleviated through yoga, and definitely this is one that I personally have very much felt in the throat when I get anxious, when I get very it's certainly my past. The throat is one of the first things for me to close up, and when I get emotional, my throat gets very strained and my voice becomes very, it's strained to talk. And we all suffer from anxiety, whether you notice it, accept it or not, but we all will have periods of our lives where we, have anxiety and stress. And recognizing how it affects you physically can really help in allowing you to find ways to heal. So noticing, I think we spoke about the solar plexus the other week with Kat, that ball of energy in the middle of your, just below the heart there, when you feel nervous and that, it flips over. That's a big bundle of nerves that's there. And that's another one, when you know where your stresses are triggered, then you can find ways to help alleviate them and soften them and let them dissipate. So today we're going to work on the throat chakra. So I'd like you all to come on up to a seated pose on your mat, facing towards the camera, if you can. And if you would like a block or a cushion to sit your butt down on, then do, as I've shown you in the past, sit with the fleshy part onto the bum and just let the sit bones and the tailbone hang off the edge, just so that it pushes your pelvis kind of forwards, and you'll find it a lot more easier to sit in this manner. All right, guys. Okay, so we're going to start off just with a should I start off with a bandha? Yeah, let's start off with one of the bandhas. So there are 3 bandhas that we use, and this one is Jalandhara bandha, and it's in the throat. We have one in the root here, and we have one in the midsection, and then there is one here. Now these are called energy locks, and it is a way of, if you imagine like a dam, how a dam works, and you block the dam off, and all this energy of this river runs in behind the dam, and then when you pull the dam out of the way, this energy just runs free. So these energy locks are like creating those within the body. We're locking energy, and then we're releasing it out into the body to sort of flood through and bring energy and vitality into the body. So this one is Jalandhara bandha, which is the 3rd bandha, and it takes place in the throat. And they're very easy to do. This one is very easy to do. So we're going to start by taking a deep breath in, and then you're going to just drop the head down and bring the chin towards the sternum. But I want you to lift up through the sternum and bring the chin down onto the sternum towards the breastplate here, and keep a hold of that breath so we're not breathing. So you've taken that deep breath in, and I want you to have a feeling of lengthening through the back of the neck and extending that back of the neck up towards the sky behind you. Hold the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the head, and then open the mouth and release the breath. I'm going to do that one more time. You know what's coming now. So take a deep breath in. Drop the chin down towards the sternum. Press up through the back of the neck. Hold the breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise the head and exhale. I think we should do that one more time. So again, one more breath in, breathe in. Lower the chin down to the sternum. And have a sense of taking the palate up towards the back of the neck here. Lift up through the chest. Lower the shoulders. Hold your breath for 3, 2, 1. Lift the head. Open the mouth and let it go. Nice. Bring your arms up in front of you, guys. We're just going to warm up into the shoulders, get ourselves moving. Take your right arm across the body. Hold it in with the left hand into the elbow. And just feel that tension in your right shoulder. Release. Take the left arm across the body. Provide some tension with the right hand into the back of the elbow there. Maybe pressing the left hand into that right palm. And release. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Really super high. Exhale, just roll the shoulders down the back of the back. Then we just do some shoulder circles with the shoulders, just moving into the shoulders. Doesn't matter which way we go because we're going to go both ways and then forwards. You hold a lot of tension in the shoulders, so this is really good. And then we're going to take the left hand to the head, going to wrap it around the top of the head so it's just coming down over the right ear, and just allow the pressure of the hand to bring the head over so we create a stretch into the right hand side of your neck. And inhale, bring it up, release the hand, take the other hand over and give yourself a little neck stretch on this side as well. Just be aware of any tension too. I've been painting all day, so I can really feel this in my shoulders and my neck this evening. Okay, and release. And just do some neck rolls. Take the head or dip it down, but don't take the head backwards, just take it over the top of the shoulders as you just roll the head around. Just go twice one way and then we just go twice the other way. Just loosening off through the neck. Okay, and then coming up to neutral. I want you just to gently close the eyes down. And if you are seated and you're feeling a little uncomfortable, by all means, please do extend the legs out in front of you and find yourself in a comfortable seated pose. Close your eyes. And I want you to go inside to your inner temple. Listen to the sounds of your body. Start with your breath, and then follow the rhythm of your breath as you inhale and exhale. Beneath the breath, listen for your heartbeat. Feel as though it's vibrating at the center of your body. These vibrations flow rhythmically throughout the body and throughout every artery. Now notice the rhythm of your thoughts. Ignore their content, but imagine being a silent witness, listening to the chat as if it were a conversation in another room. See how your breath and your heartbeat and your inner thoughts all dance to a single rhythm, each playing their part. And feel the harmony of each part in concert with the other. Now begin to listen to the sounds around you. Listen to the sounds of nature, or cars, or people outside, and take your listening into the imaginal realm and imagine you can hear conversations out on the street, broadcasting on the radio. Imagine you can float above your city or town and listen to the chorus of the whole area as one single song. Expand your view to include your county, then your country, your continent, and the whole earth. Imagine this collective sound as one, primordial Om sound, resonating all around you and deep within you. When you have heard that, come back into your body and your breath and listen for that Om inside you. Like a background buzz of your internal motor, imagine that Om in harmony with all that you have heard. In a moment, we are going to Om together. But first, I'm going to explain to you how we Om and why we Om. So the Om in yoga is the collective sound of the universe. If you wish to open your eyes, guys, then feel free to do so right now. So Om, when we Om, because it is the collective sound, if you were to rise above the earth like I just read to you from this passage, and you could hear all the buzz, all the noise of everything on this planet all at once, it would sound like the Om. And it is the Om that embodies the whole vibrational sound of the earth. And when we Om, there is a particular way in which we do it. We don't just open the mouth and let this sound out. We're trying to tap into the resonance and the vibrational energy of it within our own bodies that vibrates around our skull, our bones, our body, and connects us to this universal sound. So in a moment we're going to Om. Now, if you've never Ommed before, I appreciate it's a very oh God, this feels really weird. But the more you do it, trust me, the more amazing it sounds, and it also gets a lot of stress and tension out. It's a really lovely way to, to vocalize yoga, because yoga is quite a, quiet, just a physical practice. So this is a really lovely thing to do, and then I'll talk to you about satsangs and kirtans later on as well. But this is, so when we Om, stop mumbling, Tess. So when we Om, we take a nice big deep breath into the body, and we open the mouth and we let out an R that comes from the throat, the belly, and up into the throat. And it's more like Aum. It's more like an Aum, more than an Om, like an A-U-M sound. And we open the mouth and we go Ah, and as the sound comes out, we take it down, we start to close the mouth, and then halfway through the Om, you will close the mouth and the lips, and the rest of the Om is coming through the jaw and the skull and down into the other bones around, and you'll feel it vibrating all the way down, and it ends up as an okay? So when we start to Om, it's very much an open mouth to start with, and as we end, it goes into a hum, like a okay? So we're gonna do 2 Oms. I'll do one to demonstrate, and if you know your Oms and you want to join in, Rob, I know you're a bit more of a seasoned practitioner, so you might want to Om in with me. Girls, I don't know if you've ever done this before, and you may have people in the house that might overhear you, so if you don't want to open the mouth and Om, you can just do a really loud with the mouth shut, like you would if you were humming, okay? Whatever feels good for you, but what I want you to tap into is the vibration of it through the body, through the skull, through the jaw, and down into the rest of your body. All right, are we good? Thumbs up, sweet, nice, okay. All right, place your palms down onto your thighs, your knees, lift up through the heart, and everybody take a deep breath in. So we're just going to take a deep breath in and breathe out. So breathe in and exhale. Now we're going to breathe in for Om. So everybody inhale, and then open the mouth and second time. Now breathe in for Om, breathe in. And just take a moment just to feel the effects of that on your body. And then gently open your eyes and we'll move into our physical practice today. So the first pose is to come into a seated mudra. Now you may be, your feet may have gone numb already, so feel free to give them a little wiggle if you wish. I'm just going to go on the side, guys, so that you can see what's going to happen. So I want you to interlace your fingers behind your back and maybe take them into a Kali Mudra, which is this one, remember, where we cross over the fingers and the thumbs and we extend the index fingers up like a little Charlie's Angel. So maybe pull this mudra in behind the back, and we're just going to take a forward fold, and we're going to allow the arms to come up and over the back as much as they can. So coming into your forward fold, if you can take the forehead onto the ground and lift the hands up behind you. I'm just going to hold this for about a count of 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up. As you breathe in, maybe exhale and relax the shoulders. We'll do this one more time. So inhale, lift the shoulders up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Remember, we're working into the shoulder blades. Just come forward as much as you can. And again, we'll hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Oh, you might just want to bring the shoulder blades forwards and cross the arms over in front of you just to counteract that squeezing of the shoulder blades. Now you take the legs out in front of you. Your legs are probably like really appreciating that now if you've been in a cross-legged pose all that time. And we're going to come into our bridge pose, so Setu Bandhasana. So just find your bottom into the middle of your mat, lay down, take the back down onto the mat. I'm just going to turn around, I think you get a better view of me this way. So laying down on the back, plant the feet down on the ground, guys, just in behind the butt, about hip width distance apart, and the toes facing more or less forwards. Place the palms down on the ground, palms facing down, and kind of just reaching back to touch the backs of your heels if you can. And then on an inhale, we're going to push the feet down into the ground, and I want you to bring the back up segment by segment. So first of all, just lift up the tailbone, then lift up the mid-back, and then the upper back, and then press the hips up towards the sky. And you're almost coming back into that Jalandhara chin lock where we're bringing the chest in towards the chin. Good work. And then exhale, just come down the way we went in, lowering the back down through the upper back, mid-back and lower back, and settle the tailbone onto the ground. And we're going to lift the tailbone again, so really press those feet down into the floor and then lift the tailbone. So tilt the tailbone up first of all, feel that pelvis tilting backwards, and then lift up the lower back, your mid-back, then come up onto your upper back and try to feel the weight coming into the shoulders now as you press the hips up towards the sky. Squeeze your glutes in this pose, that will help give you a little bit more lift and protect into the lower back. And then exhale, release and lower down. This is really good for the quadriceps as well. It's a great pose. We're just going to do that one more time. So on your inhale, lift up the tailbone, lift up the lower back, mid-back, come into the upper back, and then press through the feet so that you feel that pressure coming into the shoulders, and squeeze the glutes and just lift the hips up a little bit higher. And then exhale, lower it all down. Okay, nice. Come up to sitting in any way that feels right. If you want to roll to one side and come up, then do, or just come straight up. I usually use this pose at the end of a class, but yeah, I'm going to come back to the fish pose. We'll finish on that one. I'd like you to just roll over onto your tummies. So just rolling over, and we're going to come into our Bhujangasana, our cobra pose. And what I might do is I'm going to turn this into twisting cobra, and I think we've done this before. We've used it for another chakra, but we're going to use it again in this one. Okay, so flatten the feet off. Take your feet out mat width distance apart, and place your palms either side of the chest. So your thumbs are just into the chest there, and your elbows are nicely tucked in. And we're going to do a twisting cobra, so I hope nobody's had anything to eat in the recent hour, because this one can really, bring things back up. So let's hope that we've all had a nice light lunch. So we're going to press through the palms, and as we come up into our cobra, we're going to look over our right shoulder, and maybe some of you will be able to look all the way around to your left heel, and then exhale all the way down, back through centre, chin to the floor. The next one is we're just going to peel up through the centre. So inhale as you press through the palms, come up through centre, come into your Bhujangasana here. Remember to keep the elbows tucked in, and don't come up any higher than would allow, you want to keep the pubic bone in contact with the ground here. If you press and straighten the arms so that the pubic bone comes off the ground, you're actually coming out of Bhujangasana. You want to keep the pubic bone in contact with the ground, and maybe just have a little bend into the elbows. This is the correct pose for cobra. And on your exhale, everybody, just release the chin back to the floor. So it's quite strong for the shoulders. It certainly fires the shoulders up. This time we're going to move over to the left. So inhale, press through the palms, come take the gaze over the left shoulder, squeeze the glutes as well. I like to squeeze the glutes in any back bend I do. It helps to protect and keep the lower back strong. And then exhale, lower down. Feel that in your upper arms as well as the shoulders. We're going to do that round one more time. So inhale, press through the palms, come all the way up and looking over the right shoulder. Trying to look around at the left heel, then exhale, bring the chin back to the floor, coming through centre. Inhale, come up through centre, breathe in, squeeze the glutes, press, and then release, chin to the floor as you exhale. Inhale over to the left, coming up through centre, looking over the left shoulder to your right heel if you can, and exhale, lower down. Should really do things in threes, so let's do that one again. So inhale all the way over to the right, looking over the right shoulder, looking around at your left heel if you can, exhale, lower down. Inhale up through centre, exhale, release. Inhale up through, looking over the left shoulder. Exhale, release. Okay. Make a little pillow with your forearms. Take the head onto the tops of one of the hands, and just let the head relax. Maybe rock your hips from side to side. Okay, good work. And then the next pose from here, we can move straight into it, is our Cobra, Ardha Mukha Shavasana. So from here, we are going to Take the hands back to where they were, tuck the toes under. You're going to peel up onto your knees, and your body should be in exactly the right spot to just lift the hips and find yourself in your downwards facing dog. So settle the weight down into your heels and turn the toes in a little so that you can't see your heels, you're hiding them from view. Maybe have a little bend into the knees as well if your hamstrings are tight. It doesn't matter if the heels aren't touching the floor. Mine don't touch the floor, and and I've got a little soft bend into my knees because my hams are a little bit not exactly warmed up yet. Lift the hips up and back and just press the ground away through your palms. And then what I'd like you to feel for here, because we're working into this Vishuddha chakra, which is all about the shoulders and that area, your shoulders, I want you to protract them forwards, so push them forward so that you make the ground, push the ground away through the palms. And we're going to just hold this for about a count of 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then to come out of it, come up onto the balls of the feet. We're going to walk up to centre. As we've been down the floor, we're just going to take a hold of the ankles and just let the head fully hang just for a little bit. And then we're going to release, and we're going to come up to standing. We're just going to unravel up through the spine, slowly, slowly, letting the head be the last thing that comes up to standing. So now we're going to come into our warrior 1, 2 and 3. Am I still in the camera? I think I've lost my head off the camera. Let me just do that. Hopefully that's better for you. Yeah, I'm just in. Okay, so we're going to come into warrior 1, 2 or 3. Make my mind up which end of the mat I want to go in. So let's go for warrior, we'll do warrior 1 and 2. And then we'll do 3 on its own. So step back with the left leg. Take a nice deep step back. Lunge into that front knee. So just take a bend into that front knee. Bring that knee over the toes. And just go to wherever, go to your own degree, whichever feels safe for you, okay? Take your stance of your step back, whichever feels good for you. And the back foot, either have it facing forwards or you can pop it on a 45 if that feels nice for you as well. We all good? We're all good. Raise your arms up, coming into your warrior 1. Looking forwards. Try to have the hips facing forwards here. So keep plugging the right hip back and the left hip forwards so that your hips are square to the front and going in the same direction as your gaze. Lift up through the palms. And again, lift up through the shoulders. So protract the shoulders up. Now we're going to turn this into warrior 2 by turning the back foot so that it's parallel to the short end of the mat. Bring the hips and the torso around to the side now of your mat, and then float your arms down into your warrior 2. Allow your arms to be parallel to the floor, but relax those shoulders. So what you can often find is the shoulders are up here around the neck, so relax, find space between your ears and your shoulders, and then turn your gaze to look out over your middle finger. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to turn this to the other side. So we're going to sweep the palms up to the sky. You're going to straighten that right leg. Turn the toes to face the short end of your mat. Now turn your left foot to face the back of your mat. Turn the back foot onto your 45 or to face forwards and lunge into that left knee as you come into your warrior 1 to the back of your mat. Nice. Again, lift up through the shoulders. Try to wrap the triceps in and towards your ears. Turn your pinky fingers in. So your pinkies are coming in towards each other as you turn their whole arms, rotate them in the shoulder sockets and rotate them in and up. Find that length through the arms as you press the shoulder blades up towards the sky. Now we're going to turn this into our warrior two. So turn on the back foot, so that's parallel to the short end of the mat. Turn to face the side of your mat, so you're side on, and then float your arms down. Warrior two. Look out over your middle finger. And again, we'll hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, because I want to do warrior, come back to the front of your mat and step up, feet together. Come into the centre of your mat. We're going to do warrior 3 of Virabhadrasana 3. And we'll do them here. Now this, you may want a block for this one, guys. If you feel that your standing posture isn't too good, you might want something just to assist with the balancing there in front of you. So have that there if you need it. Warrior 3, let's imagine we've got a bar across the top of the hip joints. We're going to fold forwards and come into like a pike pose. Put a soft bend into your knees. Bring your palms underneath your heart in a prayer pose. And then we'll start with the right leg. So take the weight into the left leg and take the right leg up behind you. Hopefully it's parallel to the ground, and you can put as much of a bend into that left leg as you wish, and holding that out in front of you. If you feel like you want to take it, you can either take your hand and use balance on your block if you wish. You could take the palms out wide in this sort of arrowhead style. Or if you feel like you've got it in you today, extend the palms out. And I'm just going to come and have a look. So hold. Good work, Kelly. Nice. Good work, Julia. Nice, Rob. Okay, and relax, everyone. Yeah, I know it's a hard one. You're like, come on, Tess. Get in there and do it with us. Okay, so now come down into your pike pose. Bring your palms to your heart center. Take the weight into your right foot. And extend the left leg out behind you. That's it, good. And you can, if you are struggling with these standing postures, you could always have something behind you that you extend the foot out, or have something, that's it, Rob, and just use something at the front to stabilise you. Nice work, Kelly. Good. All right, and relax, everybody. Well done. Okay, Trikonasana. Triangle. So come to face the side of your mat. Step the feet out wide. The reason why I just giggled there, guys, is because my little black cat is sitting on my windowsill, mewing at me to come in, and she'll have to wait just half an hour, my darling. All right, so step your feet out, leg length distance apart. We're going to float the arms up, and remember, because we're working in this area with this chakra, I want you to feel what your shoulders are doing here. So really feel the shoulders and feel how that shoulder blade sort of glides up, you know, that angle of that shoulder blade. We're going to turn the right foot out and bring the heel in slightly so that we've got the heel in line with the back arch, if that feels right for you. We're going to upturn this front palm, you're going to glide forwards, and then we're going to hinge into our triangle. So here, you can let this hip roll in. This is fine, so let the hip roll in, but try to keep the shoulders in line, and like the arms are working as a pair. Good. And then lift as you inhale, turn that toe in, heel in, and then turn the left heel in and the left toes out. Upturn this front part, left palm, glide forwards, and then hinge into your triangle. So let your arms work as pairs, like they're cartwheeling through the sky. And again, if the right hip wants to roll forwards and in, that's totally fine. And just keep the upper arm parallel to the lower arm. And if you wish, if you want to be yoga purist, you can look up at your thumb. Good work. Nice, everybody. Okay, inhale. Exhale, release the arms. We're going to take this into a long angle pose. So from here, we're going to work to the right again. You're going to turn that toe out and bring the heel in so that the heel's almost in line with the arch of your back foot. This time we're going to bend into that front knee. So you've got a nice stance here. And we're going to take this forearm, the right forearm, and we're going to take a load off by leaning on that thigh. It's like, oh, that's so nice and easy. I like this pose. And then this left arm, with the palm upwards towards the sky, sweep it up and bring it in line with the lower leg. So we've got this nice straight line running from the fingertips down to the outer edge of your left foot. This hand that's here, wiggling your fingers at you, it's like it's holding a plate or a tray or something. And this is your long angle pose. And reach up through these fingertips so you feel lengthening through the side body here. Good work. Lift as you inhale, straight into that leg. We're going to cartwheel the arms through the sky, switch the feet over, bend into that left knee. Take the left forearm onto that thigh. Take a load off by leaning. It's nice, isn't it? And then arc this arm overhead into a straight line between your fingertips and your back foot. Try to lift up into the arch of that back foot as well. So you're trying to press all your weight down into the knife edge of the back foot. Nice. Switch the glutes on. Okay, and again, lift up straight into that front leg and then just either hop it in or you can kind of sidewind the feet in. All right, coming down onto the mats as we come into, now I expect some of you, especially if you were here last week, which I think most of you were, are thinking, this seems very, very familiar. I think we did quite a lot of these poses also are associated with the heart chakra. And so it's nice to see the progression of what we did last week to this week. So we're also now going to look at camel. And I know that we did camel last week with Strasana. But whereas last week I wanted you to lift up through the heart, this week I want you to really consider the opening of the throat as you open up towards the sky. So coming up onto the knees. And again, like I said last week, bring the palms onto your lower back there, the fingers pointing down. Bring the tips of the elbows in towards each other, so we're really squeezing in the shoulder blades towards each other, and you can really feel that as they edge closer towards each other as you squeeze the shoulder blades in. And then as you inhale, just look up towards the sky, but this week really have a feeling of lengthening through the throat. And exhale, release back to neutral. Inhale, lift up through the heart, but extending through the throat as you look maybe a little bit further along the ceiling above you. And then exhale, bring it back to neutral. Again, take it up, but again, just lead with the chin so that you're really lengthening through the throat. Maybe not even worrying too much about the back bend like we have done in the previous camels, Ustrasanas. And exhale, bring it back to neutral. We're going to do this 2 more times because I really want you just to think about the lengthening of the throat. So inhale, lead with the chin. Feel the throat lengthen and tense. And exhale, release. Take another deep breath in as you breathe in. Take the chin. It's not that kind of yoga class. Take the chin up towards the sky. And this time open the mouth and exhale out. Nice. Which leads us perfectly into prep for our lion pose. So from where you are, guys, Bring the toes together behind you and send the knees out to the wide to the sides, so you can sit down on your heels if you can. Your palms, turn them around and take them underneath the body. So line them up with the knees and have the fingers back towards the body. Now, lion pose. You're going to poke the bum up behind you so that you've got like a, if I go sideways you'll probably see, so the hips are on the heels but not rounded through the back like so. We want to pick the tailbone up so that we've got a little dip into the spine. Now, lion pose. This is the one that looks like something out like the haka out of the the New Zealand rugby team. When we do the lion pose, again we're going to open the mouth and we're going to let all that tension out, and you're trying to get the tip of your tongue down to your chin, and you're taking your gaze towards your eyebrows. So you're going to look up towards your eyebrows and you're going to take the tongue down to your chin, and it looks pretty scary, so you don't have to look at me if you don't want to, okay? So placing the palms onto the ground, fingers pointing back towards the body. Find yourself in a nice comfortable position here that works for you. So you might want to bring the hands a bit further forwards. And again, we're going to take one deep breath in and an exhale just to set ourselves up. So breathe in. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Next one will be breathing in for our lion breath. So breathe in. Nice. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth and let it go. Okay, I don't know about you, but I kind of needed that. A little bit of stress relief, good. Maybe give your fingers a little pump. For your wrists, maybe just rock the wrists around, coming out of this pose. Okay, how are we doing for time? Oh, okay, so as promised, we're going to finish on my favourite pose to go into Shavasana. So we've got one more pose before Shavasana, guys. So if you did have a blanket, or if you wanted to turn lights down or anything like that, probably now would be a good time to do that. And then when you're ready, come back to your mat. And we'll go into the fish pose a slightly different way than I normally do it. So start off seated, legs out in front of you. And you're going to sit down on your palms. So tuck your palms under your butt as much as you can. You might want to just lean back a bit so that they're really underneath you, so that you can really locate your sit bones onto your fingertips. Then we're going to lower yourself back down onto your elbows, like so. Lift up through the heart, so the heart and the rib cage are quite high. And then we're going to take the crown down to the ground behind us. Now you might want to just shuffle and make a few adjustments as necessary that work for your body. But allowing the crown to be onto the ground, and again think about the throat area. Now if you want to come into the full variation of the pose, you can draw the knees up. Like we did for bridge pose, bring the feet in towards the body and then allow the knees to fall out to the side. If this puts too much pressure on your neck, you can just cross the feet over like in a Siddhasana sort of easy pose style, or just take them back out and have the legs straight out in front of you. If you can close the eyes, then do so. Keep the eyes closed. And as you breathe here, has its fish pose. It's quite a nice visualization to imagine that you've got little gills in the side of your throat, and your breath is coming in, that oxygen is coming in through these gills, and this is how you breathe, activating into your throat chakra. You know, with all this work into this throat chakra, we'll all go and, you know, be like public speakers now, or we'll go and say what we want to say. It's, you know, it's really cool. It allows you to, working on these chakras in this way gives you positivity in these areas. So if there's something that you've been wanting to say for a long time, then maybe this evening or tomorrow might be a good idea to have a go at that. And then release the head, so press down into the elbows as you lift the head. Relax down onto the back. Let the arms come out from underneath the body. Let them fall away to the sides with the palms facing upwards. Separate the heels out to the sides of your mat and just take a moment to notice how soft the floor feels beneath you now. Pull on any blankets that you wish. Snuggle your shoulders into the ground. Tuck the chin. And make any last minute you know, make any little adjustments is the word I'm looking for, that you need to make so that your Shavasana will be completely still and quiet, allowing your body to absorb everything that you have just done in your practice this evening. So as ever, I would like to read to you from Anadia Judith's book, The Wheels of Life, her meditation on this chakra. Before the beginning, all was darkness and all was void. The face of the cosmos was deep and unmanifest, indeed not a face at all, but endless nothing. No light, no sound, no movement, no life, no time. And all was null, and the universe was not yet created, nor even conceived. For there was no form in which to conceive or be conceived. In its emptiness, the darkness fell upon itself and became aware that it was nothing, alone and dark, unborn, unmanifest and silent. Can you imagine this silence? Silence of nothing? Can you quiet yourself enough to hear it? Can you listen to that silence within you? Breathe deeply, but slowly so the breath is silent in your lungs. Feel your throat expand and the air coming in. Listen for the nothing. Listen for the quiet. Listen deep within yourself for that place of stillness. Slowly breathe into this void, a deep and peaceful breath. And in its infinite quiet, darkness fell upon itself. And in its emptiness, knew itself to be alone. And alone, it desired another. In this desire, a ripple moved across the void to fold and fold again upon itself, until it was no longer empty and the void was full with birth. In the beginning, the great unmanifest became vibration in its own recognition of being, and that vibration was a sound from which all other sounds were born. It came from Brahma in his first emanation. It came from Saraswati in her eternal answers. And in their union, the sound arose and spread through all the void and filled it. And the sound became one, and the sound became many, and the sound became the wheel that turned and turned the worlds into the dance of life, forever singing and always moving. If you listen, you can hear it now. It's in your breath, it's in your heart, it's in the wind, the waters, the trees and the sky. It's in your own mind, and it's in the rhythm of each and every thought. From one sound does it all emerge, and to one sound shall it return. And that sound is Om. Chant it now inside you quietly. Let it build within your breath. Let the sacred sound escape you, moving on the wings of air, rhythm building, deep vibration rising up from deep within. Chant the sound of all creation, sound that makes the chakras spin. Louder now the voice arises, joins with other sounds and chants. Deeper now the rhythms weaving all into a sacred dance. Rhythms pounding, voices growing, echoing the dance of life. Sounds to words and words to music, riding on the wheels of life. Guiding us along our journey, moving spirits deep within. They chant that voice that is within you, and this is where we must begin. Up from the silence, the breath and the body calling now unto the void. Hear its answer in the darkness. Fear and pain have been destroyed. Brahma is the first vibration. Saraswati is the flow. Sound unites us in our vision, harmonizing all that we know. Soon the silence comes again, with echoes of primordial sound, purifying all vibration, an echo of truth profound. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Gently bring some awareness into the physical body by gently touching your fingers and thumbs together, wriggling and moving the toes, and then rotating the wrists and ankles, and then moving gently in any way that feels right for your body today. Just start to stretch. When you're ready, just roll over to the right and take a few breaths here on your right hand side. And then coming on up to a seated pose when you're ready. Okay, I think you're all there. You're all shrouded in darkness now, so I think you're all there, you're all there. Alright guys, let's finish with an Om, shall we? We've practiced our Oms, you now understand why we Om and why we connect with this Om into this, this universal sound around us, and that is us connecting ourselves into it. So let's finish with one One really nice Om, okay? So place your palms onto your knees, lift up through the heart center. We're going to breathe in for Om, so breathe in. The shining light in my soul honours and respects each and every one of yours. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your practice with me this evening, guys. Namaste. I'm going to unmute you all now so we can just all say good night. So just bear with me while I unmute. Alright, so you're all unmuted. Alright guys, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Tess.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope you had a very vocal. Go down, as you know, if you're with family now, you'll walk down. They'll be like, "What were you doing up in that room?" All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, and I'll see you all next week. All right.
Next week, yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
And you.
Bye.
See you later. Bye, Kelly. Bye, Rob. Bye, Julie.
Bye.
Okay. Let's just show everybody meowing at me all the time. Look at you.